Tax advice for landlords. Just ask for RITA.
Wright for Rent have launched a new record keeping app. Record keeping is of great importance these days, especially with the relentless attacks on landlords by the government. One of the main attacks in recent times has been Section 24. This involves the restriction of finance costs and essentially is inflating landlords' profits, exposing them to higher tax bills. There's been many ideas that have been floating about, and there are quite a few options out there for landlords as to how they can mitigate it to best effect. Really, there isn't an answer that is a one-size-fits-all solution for all landlords. It's really looking at your own circumstances and seeing what is best for that. And in some ways it's looking at the overall strategic plan for the future and seeing where you want to be, and then try and map the way there in the most strategic manner. Now, some of the options that you could look at is it could be something more simple, such as increasing your rents or for paying down mortgages and those type of avenues. As far as tax is concerned, there may be options you could look at, such as Form 17, which involves you reallocating a certain percentage of the profit to your husband or wife. There are some other taxes to look out for in that, but there are at the same time a number of landlords who can benefit from that. Another area to look into could be incorporation. That can work for some landlords but not so good for others. The main attraction to companies is the lower rate of tax, which is ever increasing, and even George Osborne alluded to a so-called 15% tax in the future. We'll wait and see there. The important thing really with considering a company is to not really be blinded by the lower rate of tax. The tax is charged on profits. The majority of people who are looking at going into a corporate route is because of these mortgage changes. So at the same time, you've got to look at ways of extracting that profit from the company, which can attract a further tax charge. So if you paid yourself a salary, then there could be tax and national insurance on the salary. If you took a dividend from the company, you may or may not be aware that the dividend rules changed on the 6th of April, just gone, 2016, which confuses matters a little bit more. In any case, an incorporate route can work well, but it's crucial to take good advice because it's certainly not a decision to be taken lightly. There are a few other options that you could look at. We did look at Form 17 earlier in this video. If you're not married, then there may be the option of a profit sharing agreement to look into. If you are close and teetering around the edge of the 40% tax band, then there may be other opportunities to look at, such as AVC pension contributions or additional gift aid contributions. But really, to sum up, it's looking at your overall circumstances, seeing really how much these changes are going to affect you, if at all, and if they do, by how much, and then seeing what you could do a before and after scenario, and really see whether it's worth the trouble to make these changes, whether it's better to stay where you are, but really just to plan the most effective way forward and put yourself in the most best position. With all the doom and gloom that's been in this video, it really serves as an important warning to make sure that you are claiming everything that you're entitled to, and good record keeping will ensure that you've got a good account of this and make sure you reduce your tax as much as you can.
Renting your property is a never-ending circle. You buy it, then if you let it, there may be income tax to pay. Pass it on to family in your will, and there may be inheritance tax to pay. Sell it, there may be capital gains tax to pay. RITA for Rent. Tax advice for landlords. Just ask for RITA.